But outside of us, 'cause it's not all about us, there has actually been a rather large Middle-earth announcement.
There has indeed.
It just came out of nowhere, just midweek. They just dropped it.
Yeah.
We were actually mid-game of 40k,
Yeah.
and they dropped a huge Middle-earth announcement. And
Yeah.
that announcement was a troll.
A big troll. A very big troll, in fact.
Catapult Troll.
Yes.
A Gundabad Catapult Troll.
Yes.
Something that's not been in the game.
Yeah, but 2 of the last 3 releases have been Gundabad.
Huh.
You've had Bolg and now that.
Yeah.
They really try to
And
push the
Imrahil.
Hobbit. And Imrahil. Yeah, 3 very random ones when you really look at it. I wonder if that's... are they just trying to push the Hobbit stuff a bit more? Or is it just...
Hopefully not. I'm joking. Some of the Hobbit stuff, game-wise, is cool.
Yeah.
But the Hobbit, also known as the Dark Age of the game, is, it's a period of the game where we didn't play. So we've said it before, we lack a lot of the Hobbit models and miniatures and stuff. So when this got released, it hadn't even occurred to me really that it's not been an available model before.
Yeah, same. I hadn't even thought about it.
Yeah. So I mean, it's cool that we get something new. I didn't think there'd be that many new things very often, to be honest.
Although it's Forge World. So Forge World resin, Forge World prices.
True.
I think that automatically makes a lot of people go, well, it looks nice, but I'm never going to own it.
Even for us, we don't get supplier discount on that.
No,
which is gross.
To me, that's one of those which you look at and go, someone's going to make an awesome proxy of that model, and we'll get that.
Yeah. Hey, Forgemaster, if you're watching, hit us up. Yeah. Well, I thought the design was cool, at least. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. No, it looks stunning.
Yeah.
It's just because as soon as you do Forge World, you just go, oh, the pricing is just gross.
Yeah. It is a shame. It is a shame. Yeah. And obviously plastic's easier to deal with in general, but it is what it is. I'm happy we're getting new models, new releases, not just updates.
Yeah.
And it looks great. So I think the design team have been really smashing it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if we could get a new release like that, every couple of weeks, it'd be amazing.
Honestly, 1 a month, I'm cool.
Yeah.
12 releases a year for Middle-earth, I'm in.
Yep. Just give us some plastic riders.
I think that's going to happen. I always delve into the comments and the Warhammer community posts. People asking for things, and they normally reply saying something like, "We can see that happening. We'll let you know, when it's going to happen, or at least it's likely to happen."
Yeah.
My biggest complaint here is they give us these releases, and they'll say in the coming months, you're getting this troll. That bugs me. Just give me a date. You obviously have a date.
Yeah.
You know when it is. Just say. But how long are these distances between announcements and releases getting? Because you think back to the Hera model.
Yeah.
That Hera model was announced in December? January?
Yeah.
January.
Early in the edition.
We're approaching April.
Yeah.
And that has not even been up for pre-order yet.
Yeah. I feel
This is the Hera without the shield and on horseback and stuff. That one. It's a really nice model. Announced months ago.
I wonder if GW look at sales. So they kind of go, oh, sales are still good. We don't need anything. And once they start to drop, they go, oh, okay, it's going to come next week. So then they can kind of drive back up, and then they go, and then they just wait.
Yeah.
It drops to go, actually, let's release it now.
It makes sense. We've done that in the past with YouTube.
Yeah.
We've gone, oh, views are starting to drop, but don't upload now. It does make sense.
Yeah.
It does make sense. Yeah. It's frustrating, though. As a fan, as a player of the game, once you've seen something, I don't necessarily care much about that army list, but some people will go, oh, I'm building that army. Cool, I'll wait for that to come out now. It's been announced and build it around that. And then suddenly it's months go by and they haven't been playing because their army hasn't finished and they lose a bit of interest. There's a bit of a knock-on effect. So,
I mean, there's even the thing, with seeing it with the match play guide. Because obviously we've got our tournament, Shadow and Flame 2, coming up at the end of May. Are we going to have 24 match play scenarios to pick from that, or are we sticking with 6?
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah.
There's a good chance we won't know until the week before to know if there would be or not.
Yeah.
It doesn't change anything massively because you don't tend to find those out until the day anyway.
True.
But it'd just be nice to know. The same as the Third Armies book. People...
what's that? That's already been 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah. So it's a case of, is that going to be out in time for our tournament at the end of May? You should think so. But you can't guarantee it. And it's not just that. It's got to come out. And then people might go, oh, I really like this army, which means I need to get this, this, and this, paint this, this, and this, and get it all ready.
Well, there's inevitably, when the Third Armies book comes out, there's inevitably going to be loads of releases that go with it as well.
Yeah.
So there's nothing worse than going, okay, we know the third armies book is coming. We wait ages. Oh, it's here. And with that release, they've announced these models. Now we got another 3-4 months to wait for those. Like, it just, I like the way they used to do it, where it would just be announcement, 2 weeks later, you can pre-order it.
Yeah.
It's just so much better.
Yeah, I think so. Because there's only so much hype you can have.
Yeah.
I think a week of hype before pre-order is more than enough. After that, something else gets announced and then those things get forgotten. So what is the point?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I can't quite. They're a very successful company. There's going to be legit reasons that we don't even understand, and that's why they're super successful. And we're sat here in our tiny little podcast room.
Yeah, that's why we need someone from GW who can actually answer questions to come and sit here, and have us just ask
interrogate them.
Yes, interview them. Yes.
Interview.
Interrogview.
No. At the end of the day, I'm really appreciative of GW at the moment because they are keeping the game alive. Well, the fans are keeping it alive.
Yeah.
But they're releasing stuff, you know? And I'm curious to see how it goes going forward with New Line and the new movies, whether, like War of the Rohirrim, does each movie give us a new edition?
If it's New Line, maybe not edition.
Definitely new releases.
New releases, because if it's the Hunt for Gollum, I don't think they could really do a Hunt for Gollum edition.
True.
That one's... But then maybe I would have said the same about War of the Rohirrim. Maybe I would have...
No, but that's hundreds of years prior, so you've got a completely different set of characters. Whereas Hunt for Gollum is set with characters that we know. Aragorn, Gollum, Gandalf, Thranduil.
That is true, yeah. So I don't think they could do a whole new edition. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
What they'll do is the movie will have characters like Aragorn showing off a different skill set. Like, he'll be a really awesome archer in this. So they'll release like an archery Aragorn. Yeah. Aragorn the bowman.
Yeah, something like that. And you'll have Gandalf the 10th Gandalf the Grey?
At least, yeah.
Realistically shouldn't be any different at all at that point. But...
It's going to look way older.
Or just very different.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Kind of all redesigned like Radagast did.
Oh,
and then suddenly all the Gandalfs...
Gandalf with bird poo in his hair. Anyway... We touched on it briefly there. The other huge bit of news that we've had, and for me this is much bigger, better, more important news, we're finally getting a new match play guide.
We are indeed. And what was it, 24?
24 scenarios.
Yes. And if I remember right, there was a point when they said about there was going to be doubles scenarios.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think that's in that 24.
I completely forgot about that.
I'm trying to think now. I feel like it was 24 match play scenario, but I don't think it mentioned anything about that. So I don't know if potentially we're going to get might end up being a PDF, to be fair, for that kind of thing.
True. Or the extra 6 or 8 or whatever it was is just going to be the doubles ones.
It could be those, yeah. I mean, because we're entering a doubles tournament.
We are indeed.
Which, sadly, it sounds like the ticket sales aren't doing too well. So if there's any of you guys who...
Yeah, there's a doubles tournament in Abergavenny. It's GBHL, 1st of May.
Yeah, very beginning of May, whatever that.
Well, if you're anywhere near South Wales or you can make it, like, it's not our tournament, we're just entering it. Check it out, because apparently there's been low entries, and doubles sounds like so much fun. We've never done it before.
No, well, we've said we'd be very interested in running a doubles event, see how it goes. But
if this is how ticket sales go,
judging if this is the interest in it, but I think I'm not trying to say bad things about how people organize events. I think the issue is you have to take the same army.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of armies that become, you have your one big one, and then it's captains or lesser.
Yeah.
Like if you said big to top the wall, that's the first one that comes to my head. So you get to be Gandalf the White, I get to be Irolas.
Yeah,
and you kind of go, it does work. It's not bad, but I think there's a lot of people who go, but we both want to be Gandalf.
Yeah, I just think if you're different armies, it gets confusing with bonuses and stuff. You can't ally anymore, and then it's like, I don't know, just banners, and it just maybe
banners only affect us. Yeah, I think you just almost have to be self-contained, but you're just going with the same objectives. I think it could work.
But it's things like scoring.
Yeah.
The opposition doesn't have any banners left. Is that across 2 different armies? Or?
Yeah, it would still count as one overall.
Yeah.
It's not like if I was atop the wall and you were Defenders of the Hornburg, that my banners would affect you anyway, in that sense. So they are kind of self-contained, but it just does mean you can mix things up. Doubles is supposed to be a bit of fun. It's not so much of a serious thing, is it? So
true.
I feel like you could get away with it more. And I feel like sometimes it is just, you struggle to get enough want-to-playable heroes armies.
Yeah. No, you're probably right there.
But we're still doing it. We still haven't even picked what we're actually playing.
True.
We've
need
gone
to
back and
decide
forth
soon.
a lot of times.
I would like to do some test games, even
Yeah.
if it's just, I'll use the army as a whole against something else and then switch, just so we both are familiar with all the rules and stuff. Yeah.
Or we rope in, Paul and Josty.
Yes.
And say, we need to test winning against
practice winning. Also, Paul and Josty, you guys should definitely be entering this as well as a team.
Yes. But yeah, if there is anyone else who wants to, find a teammate, maybe in the Discord you can find if there's a couple of you who both want to do it, make some friends.
Yeah, do it.
Have some teams. Come join us.
Let's represent TTA
at
a tournament. That'd be really cool.